Alright, this is a reply video for Dragon Ball Z Kai Rant It Sucks, done by Cure One Death. I believe that's your name. Cure One Death, yep. Just want to do a reply video to yours about Dragon Ball Z Kai and you saying it sucks. You have maybe one or two things you are correct on. The one being that it is the same series. Yes, there's no question it's the same series. I mean, it's not new in any way. It's the same Dragon Ball Z I grew up watching. But you make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of shit that I look like wondering what the fuck you're talking about. One of the things I really looked at and I was wondering what the fuck I'm trying to make sense of what you're trying to say here. And one of them was how it's for little kids now. Have you watched the uncut version of Dragon Ball Kai? Have you watched that? I mean, have you really watched that and just looked how violent it's violent. It's actually pretty damn violent. And yes, people do get holes through their stomachs. The only one that you're right on was when Piccolo does a special beam cam right through Raditz and Goku. That's the only one that they have burn mark instead of a hole. But in the uncut version of Kai, it is violent. Very violent. That's what you don't understand. You're talking about it being a kid show because you're watching the Toonza version or Nicktoons version, which are not nearly... They take out a lot of stuff. They take out the language, some of the language, some of the swearing, that shit gets taken out, and they take out a lot of blood. They take this shit out of those versions. That's why I don't watch either the Nicktoons or Toonza versions. Okay? And another thing you should understand is you're claiming that, oh, this is for little kids. So was the original one. When it was done, because do you remember when Dragon Ball Z first came on Toonami and it was done by Ocean Dub? It was the Ocean Dub crew who did it. It was censored. That was censored too. I hate to break this to you. That was censored. Heavily censored. More censored than Kai is on Nicktoons or Toonza. I'm sorry. But the Ocean Dub was much more censored, and I mean that you could say was a little kid show in its own right. That could be a little kid show. I mean, you're referring I think you're trying to make it more seem, trying to do a comparison of Kai versus the Funimation dub. Now, we'll give you this. The Funimation version of Dragon Ball Z, when they started doing the dub, it was a little more uncensored, and they did show more blood. Alright? There's no question that it was definitely... They did have not as much censorship with the Funimation dub as they did with the Ocean dub. But the Ocean dub was heavily censored. So why you keep saying that the Kai version is for little kids? So is the original Ocean dub of Dragon Ball Z. When you watch that, you could tell that's for little kids. And to prove that, they would say really stupid fucking lines like... One line was when Nappa blew up a fucking city with a bunch of people in it. Vegeta says, "It's a pity it's Sunday, or else all these people are these buildings be full." Or how they, instead of saying kill or death, they say next dimension. Okay? I hate to break this to you, man, but they censored the fuck out of Dragon Ball Z when it was done by the Ocean Dub crew. Now, not to say the voice acting in the Ocean Dub wasn't bad. It was good. It had decent voice acting, but it was censored. Hate to break this to you. Alright? Another thing you address is that I think this is one argument you're right on, is it is the same thing. You're right, it is the same. Dragon Ball Kai is the same story as Dragon Ball Z. What's different is, first and foremost, the voice acting is much better. The writing is 10 times better. I mean, wow, what an improvement. I didn't think this was possible to have this good of writing in Dragon Ball Z. I did not think it was possible. And the music is very well done. I love the music. Now, I like the Bruce Faulkner music too. I think that's good music. But this music really fits Kai and it really works. The writing, oh my god. When Funimation did the writing for Dragon Ball Z, There were times where that writing felt like I was watching a goddamn WWE Monday Night Raw match. That's what it felt like at times. That's how bad that writing was. Was poor. Some of those lines were so fucking stupid. It just made no sense. Kai actually does a great job having those lines really work well. The writing is it's very well done. I think this is some of the best writing I've seen in Dragon Ball history. Kai has good writing. Writing that actually makes sense, and also the fact that it also follows the manga. Okay, that's one of the huge improvements is the writing. I'm sorry, but the writing is better in Kai. And trust me, I used to be a Kai hater too. I used to hate Kai. But until I decided to say, fuck it, I'm going to give this a chance. I went out and I bought part 1 of Dragon Ball Kai. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I want to watch the series and I want to see it uncensored. I'm not going to watch the fucking Nicktoons or Toonza version because those are going to be the censored versions. But trust me, the writing is very well done this time. It's some of the best. It's good writing. Simple as that. Another thing and the voice acting. I'm sorry, but when Funimation redid the voice acting, especially in the Captain Ginyu and for most of the Frieza saga, it's bad voice acting. It is horrifically bad voice acting, especially in the beginning. Especially what they tried to do was, when they originally brought the new voice actors in, the new voice actors tried to imitate the Ocean Dub voice actors. I'm not kidding. They tried that shit, and they failed miserably. It's bad voice acting. That's the simple truth. That's the problem with the original Dragon Ball Z. It does have bad voice acting, but it does improve. Okay? Dragon Ball Kai, though, has much better voice acting. You can just tell. The voice acting is so much better, and a lot of the actors they did bring back are pretty much... They really improved a lot. It stunned me how really some of them sound so much better, and how the voices just work so much better with these characters in Kai than they did in the original series. I'm watching part 5 right now. I just finished up watching part 5 of Kai. My God, Android 18's voice. I love her new voice. Works perfectly with her. From being a blonde dumbass who's just a brute to now actually sounding like someone who's smart and knows how to fight. I didn't care too much for the original voice actor who did Android 18. The new one sounds better. Bulma's voice sounds better. Gohan's voice sounds better. They're all improved. Okay, and I like the old voice actors too. I'm not gonna lie, I do like some of those voices, but these are much better voices. They work much better with Dragon Ball Z than the old Funimation dub voices did. And the ones who did stay have improved, have obviously been taking fucking acting lessons because it sounds 10 times better. Alright, I hate that. I mean, that's where Kai is really good. Is in its music, its writing, and its voice acting. And a bonus, they took out all the fucking filler I didn't want to see. I'm sorry, there's a lot of filler I didn't give a shit about. It didn't really develop characters, it was just boring. One of them was when they go on to fake Namek. I hate those fucking episodes when they're on fake Namek. I don't care. And I'm glad Kai didn't have that. I'm glad Kai didn't have Yajirobe telling everyone that these are Saiyans from outer space over again, because I've heard this enough times. I don't want to see it again. It doesn't need to be there. Okay, there's a lot of filler I'm glad they took out. Now, granted, there was some filler I wish they had kept. But, I mean, seriously. A lot of that filler was pointless. And did not need to be there. And then you talk about the animation looking like complete shit. That was just photoshopped. And you said that Toho Animation is being lazy. You do know these are the same people who did the Dragon boxes, right? You hopefully know what... I hope you know what those are. Those are Toho Animation redoing Dragon Ball Z frame by frame. completely cleaned the series up, making it look nice. Those Dragon boxes look amazing, and Kai looks amazing. You claim it's just that all they did was do a cheap Photoshop. No, they cleaned the fuck out of Dragon Ball Z, cleaned it up to make it look really nice. It looks like a modern day anime now. That's what Dragon Ball Z looks like. It looks like a modern day anime. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of what I'm saying. And showing some girl who clearly drew a Goku picture, looks like she was trying to mail to Toonami to get it posted on the air, doesn't prove shit. You showed that, but when I first saw it, I laughed. I thought that was a fucking joke. Okay? I thought that was a fucking joke. That you would show something like that. That it's like, well, you would show this girl who did these images of Dragon Ball Z characters, which the drawing was pretty nice, but you're going to compare it to Kai. That's funny as hell to me to see that. I mean, that's just funny. To see you try to do something like that. I laughed when I saw that. I'm like, you're comparing someone who drew a picture of Goku to an image from Kai. I was stunned that you thought that image looked better, or that's what Kai looks like, when that doesn't even come close to what Kai looks like. Now, I'm not trying to be a complete dick here, but I'm just telling you where you're wrong, where you don't quite understand. Alright, and the final thing you brought up was the music. You brought up it's stupid and it sucks. Yeah, all the bullshit I've heard from Kai haters is they hate the music, they hate the opening theme, Dragon Soul. I hate to break this to you, but they've used themes like that for a lot of the series. Dragon Ball, they used a similar theme, something like that. I mean, it's upbeat. That was what Dragon Ball Z was meant to be. It was never meant to be a hard rock, metal type music like it was done here in the US. It was meant to be just an upbeat songs that got you ready to watch Dragon Ball Z. There was a lot of love and care in the original Dragon Ball Z when it was done in Japan. It's one of the things I've really noticed, not from just watching Kai, but from watching the Dragon boxes as well, that the Japanese had, that it was just, Dragon Ball Z was about being a fun series. It was never meant to be this hardcore, in your face fighting metal music show. It was about just guys collecting Dragon Balls. I mean, I'm starting to really understand that now. What really Dragon Ball Z was meant to be, what was meant to originally be. I've been watching it, and it's, I mean, Kai follows it, of all the English dubs I've seen of Dragon Ball Z, Kai follows the original Japanese version the closest from any of the English ones I've seen. Dragon Ball Kai follows it the closest. I mean, it's just a fact, they do. Okay? You are entitled to your opinion, but you're wrong on this one. Okay? Now, granted, I've said many times that Dragon Ball Z is not my favorite anime. It is on my top 10 because it was the first anime I got into, but it's not my favorite. But it is an anime I do enjoy. And I do enjoy Kai. I do prefer it over the original series for all the improvements I've said. Alright? That's why Kai is better than the original Dragon Ball Z that was done by Funimation. Alright? I'm out.